Hey guys, and welcome back to a movie review. So today is kind of an unplanned review, just at the last minute. Earlier I saw the new DC animated film Batman: The Killing Joke, and over the past few months I've been watching a lot of DC animated films. I've been getting into like the Batman ones and the Superman ones and a few of the Justice League films. Some of them are really good, some of them I'm not a fan of. I really liked Under the Red Hood, Assault on Arkham, and a few others which I own behind me. And so I really wanted to see this one because of the high anticipation behind it. I've never read the actual comic book of the film, but I know it's a famous one from like the 1980s. So I was really excited to see this movie, and the trailers actually, they looked okay, but they looked like they could have improved on the animation a bit more, and it looked a bit glitchy the way the characters moved, but thankfully they improved upon that with the actual release of the film. So like most of the DC animated movies, it goes for an hour and a quarter, and apparently with the story of The Killing Joke, the film would have only been able to go for around 45 minutes, so they had to add about half an hour's worth of extra footage in, and they did that in the first half an hour. They didn't kind of separate it throughout the film. They just kind of put this chunk of half an hour worth of footage and story that had nothing really to do with the comic book prior to this film, and just so they could try and kind of make it that length. And that's definitely where the film falls short a bit for me. Like I said, I've never read the comic, so I don't think I'll be judging this film as harshly as fans of the comic. So the first half an hour pretty much focuses on Barbara Gordon, or Batgirl, and her working relationship with Batman in Gotham City and the crimes that they're solving together, kind of, and her frustration towards Batman not letting her, kind of take a lead. And while the first half an hour of the film was okay, it was passable, it was half interesting, it definitely wasn't up to scratch where the rest of the film went. So when it really kicked into gear at about the half hour mark is when The Killing Joke actually starts. It's when kind of like the comic book would start, and from then on it just gets better and better, and it really became a fantastic movie for me. So the voice cast is all of the classic Batman animated series actors, like Mark Hamill, who's back as the Joker. You've got Kevin Conroy as the voice of Batman, and Tara Strong as Batgirl. You've also got Ray Wise playing Commissioner Gordon, and they're the four main characters in this film. Now, I know most of you probably already know the story to The Killing Joke, but I'll try not to spoil anything. So the Joker escapes Arkham Asylum, and he kidnaps Commissioner Gordon and kind of holds hostage Barbara for a while, and he's trying to send Commissioner Gordon insane, kind of, so he can make a point and prove to people that even the most by the book kind of people can still be turned mad and go insane like the Joker was. And there was also a lot of flashback scenes of the Joker and kind of how he became the Joker, and I thought they were really good and really interesting parts of the film, kind of seeing his origin story, which was really interesting. And seeing the confrontation between Batman and the Joker at the end in this old amusement park was really great as well. I loved the animation style of this film, though it wasn't as good as the comic book, obviously. It still looks really good as far as I'm concerned. The voice acting was great as well. And I've read that a lot of fans don't really like this adaptation of The Killing Joke because of some of the changes they made, as well as the first half hour being completely added to the story. I don't think they needed to make any of the changes really that they did after reading some comparisons and things of The Killing Joke. But for me, it's really that first half an hour that brings the film down a little bit, not too much. I still enjoyed the first half an hour. As a whole, the film's really good. It would have just been better, I think, if they had made it more interesting, kind of for the first part of the film. The story could have been a lot more interesting. The film is really dark, and it goes in a lot of weird and quirky places, and I really like that aspect of it. The fact that the Joker is trying to make someone go mad or insane so they can share what he's like, pretty much, or what he's been through. And so it's definitely not like a family-friendly kids kind of animated cartoon. But it was probably one of the best animated DC films I've actually seen. I haven't seen all of them, as I've said, just about 15 or so I think I've seen, but there's like 30 or something like that. But I still really enjoyed it. I don't think it was quite as good as my favourite, which was Under the Red Hood. That was really good. But it's up there with that. I think if the first half an hour had been a lot better and more cohesive with the rest of the film, that it would have probably been the best one so far. Also, I think they were trying to flesh out the character of Barbara Gordon a lot more in the first half an hour, because apparently in the comics she doesn't really get a lot of backstory or information on her. She doesn't really get much character development, so I see what they were trying to do there. But there were a few decisions they made in the first half an hour as well that weren't that great, and I know a lot of people were complaining about it. But I still really enjoyed this, guys, and I'm going to probably pick it up next week on Blu-ray when it comes out at JB Hi-Fi. And I recommend that you see it if you're a fan of these DC comics or if you're a fan of the original comic. Just don't go in expecting it to be as good as the comic. But yeah, it was still really good in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. So as I said, it had some flaws, but in the end I'm going to give the film a solid B+ because I really still quite enjoyed the film. So thanks everyone for watching my quick review for The Killing Joke. Let me know what you thought of the film down below. So I'll see you in my next video, guys. Please subscribe and I'll see you then. Bye.